Hello everybody. Hello, hello. I just came back from the beach. It was so windy, but the wind could hold me if I let my body go. The wind. I cannot even speak because all my face has been blown by the wind. When I came back, I had the wind in front, and it was like, oh my goodness. So I'm like drunk because of the wind and a little bit chilly. And I wanted to do a video since some days. I don't have a lot of time because I have a friend coming to visit me at 6, but I'm going to try to express what is going on. And everything is going on all together. I had, as some of you may know, to void like a small moving my belongings in the garage and to bring everything at home. And I discovered a lot of things. I reorganized everything, and it's things from the past. And in fact, there are a lot of things connected to the past, and I was feeling like, wow, what do I need all these things? And it's always my dilemma with material things. And I was like, And finally I decided that there is no hurry to throw them away, because the one I selected, I like them, my fabrics and books and things that I may use. So I said, okay. I made peace with myself, and I say, okay, I keep them. They are well organized by category in their beautiful boxes. The garage is beautiful. Everything is perfect. So I throw away quite a lot of things. I gave to Salvation Army. Yesterday evening, I burnt paper that I was holding since almost 20 years, since when I arrived in this country. So I made space, and I feel really good, actually. But in parallel to that, I had a very interesting experience that is also connected to the past and to my difficulty to express verbally what is right for me in some situation that I could see conflictual, that are not, but it's me who see them, and I discovered why. And in fact, I am very amazed again by how the body is bringing me to evolve spiritually. In fact, the body is like the densified version of my soul. And if I cannot feel or understand the message that my soul is sending to me directly by thought or vibration, and I don't connect with that, there is something that is appearing in the body to make me put my attention and resolve things. What happened is that I had 1 year ago, 1 year ago, I had a crown on a tooth that has been made, very well done, nothing to say, but I had since that time a big pain, and I wasn't able to chew on that because I know that the tooth needed time to be used to the crown. So I tested in energetic with my friend Bernard. Everything was fine about the tooth, everything was fine about the crown. It just needed time for my body to be, friend, if I can say, with this foreign part on my tooth. It took 6-8 months to don't feel the pain when I was chewing, but I have not chewed for all this time on that side. And I started to feel that it was like shrinked, and I saw when I opened my mouth very big that this bone was going out. So, and I, as you know, I don't travel, so usually I go in France and I'm followed by an osteopath and everything goes back to place, But I've not been in France since November 2019, so I was thinking I have to find an osteopath here, and I know no one that can really help me. I had a friend, but he's in Palm Springs now, and I may go in Palm Springs end of October, but this was becoming really, really tense, and all the top jaw was hurting, and this bone was like, so I tried by myself with intention to work on that bone that was a TMJ that is going out, and it became worse. It became really, really painful. And my friend Sandra came to give me a fork tuning session. And I had told her, do you know by any chance an osteopath? And she said, no, I know a chiropractor that is amazing and is close by. I say, yeah, but chiropractic is not osteopathy. And, I was like, but I say, okay. She told me how great he was, and I trusted her, and I took an appointment, and I was very happy to have some, treatment regarding that, because I know that this is not by chance. It's because I have something, but I didn't know why at that time. I have something to discover there or to unlock, because when there is a pain, it's because the flow of energy is not regular. It has been blocked, and it can have been blocked by a trauma, an accident, a fear, a thought. I always speak about the importance of mindset. The way you think, you create, in a way, your reality. You create things coming your way, the way you think them. So, sure, I know about all this and I investigate that, but I noticed also that, as I know that the body is a wholeness, when you touch one point, something is reacting on another one. And as I worked on that breathing technique since many months, if you follow me, you know what I'm speaking about and what I discovered about that. But this also, in a way, worked on that, worked to investigate and make flow differently the energy by the breathing, and came here because for me this pain is not something something bad. It's just because there is something that is awakening for me to put my attention on. So I noticed after the session, the tuning session with Sandra, that I was feeling much better. I don't have the tension and the irritation I had. It was much better. And after, I took an appointment with a friend chiropractor, and I trusted her. She told me it was really amazing. People she referred him to were really happy. So I went there, and I go, like I am, no mask, nothing particular, thinking that working in this field where you know that the body has an intelligence and that sickness is not something you catch or you give, but it's because the body has something to tell you. In fact, it's the soul that has something to tell you, to make you discover. So I arrived there, and there is nobody. Everything is empty. And it takes these days because the place is totally empty, and it's a kind of small clinic, and the door is open, and I see at the entrance the gel, that I don't use at all. This hydraulic gel with alcohol and all these chemicals, And he saluted me from far with the mask on and say, you have to have a mask here and you have to put your hands on gel. I say, I'm sorry, I don't put gel on my hands. I have my essential oil spray in my car. So I went back in my car, I took my essential oil spray and I spray my hands. And when I arrived in the office, he gave me a mask. And I told him that I don't like that. But I wanted also to go straight on the subject, so at that time I was unable to say properly I would say in a neutral way, why I didn't like mask and why I didn't understood someone working on the body and the intelligence of the body was wearing one. So I was quite a little bit, not upset, but it was not really flowing. So I exposed my case, and finally we did an amazing session. I told him how I worked on the cell memories since 35 years, and we connected immediately very well. The work impressive, very well done, and the body responded by weaknesses and the test to things that happen, and in fact. Before that, I did a session with my friend Bernard, and I asked him again if the tooth was right, if the crown was right, everything was right. And suddenly, just after I had this video with my friend in France, came to my mind something. So when I arrived at the session at the chiropractor, I said, okay, I know why there is this pain. It's not the crown, it's not the tooth, but I discovered just recently, but I know when this has been done is when I stay my head twisted back, very, very back, for almost 1 hour, and twisted my neck for the dentist to access that tooth, to put the crown. And after I had to bite my head twisted in the back, to bite the crown, to hold it for almost 2 minutes, to glue. But in this position, it was not right. And me, usually, I always ask my dentist to be stand up on my feet when I have to do a bite or I have to check to do a test. But it was so delicate to be in the back, the crown could fall in my mouth, so I had to stay like that. And I understood that it was that. So when I arrived at the chiropractor, I told him I know where it's coming from. It's because of the position, the posture I had during the session for the crown. And we tested, and effectively the muscle tested no energy at all, no resistance, because it was that. So I had the message before, so this could go very fast. And we unlock, in fact, we release different memories that same day. And at the last testing, it was very interesting, because if you follow me, you saw some months ago this video I did about the small incontinence that I had, and how I worked on that by the breathing and the respiration and contraction and putting my consciousness there, and what I discovered that was fantastic. So at the last testing, so we did a testing because from that pain, it goes in S in the body. I had pain in the knee, I had pain in one hip, I had pain in one foot. So everything was connected. So we unlocked all that. And the last test was to be on the side, opening my legs, putting my leg up. And suddenly I felt like a sting at the perineum. I was like, wow, it's funny. I'm working on that since many months, and now it's like, and I knew this sensation, but I could not on the moment, I could not connect with the sensation. And I told him, I say, it's very interesting because I had this sting at the perineum, and I have to tell you that I'm working on that since 6-8 months now, because I had this small incontinence, and it's funny because I had just had this reaction there on that testing. He said, oh, okay, so we're going to work on that next time. And he said, and me, by the session, I was a little bit stoned, and with this mask and with this thing. So I said, okay, and I was unable to feel at that moment that 1 week was too short. So he said, I can give you an appointment for next week if you want. Say, okay. And I left, and I was like, I just wanted one thing, was to be in my bed, driving half an hour, go in my bed. And when I went in my car, I put off this mask. And I was pissed off again about the mask thing. I said, I cannot go back. I cannot go back to have a session with that. This is not right. My body doesn't like that. My body doesn't want to breathe, especially when I'm working on the cell memory where I need all my oxygen to oxygenate my body, where we are working on the cell memory release. I cannot breathe. I cannot go back and breathe my CO2 when I need oxygen. So it was like nonsense. And I was like, again, in my best of thing with that. And I was like, in a way, it was like a dialogue inside of me. And another voice said, why are you like that? It's not a big deal to have that. And the other one said, no, it's not right. My body doesn't like to breathe this thing. My body is made to breathe differently. What is this? So I was in this thing and I drove, and this kept me awake. Actually, it was not bad. So I drove home, and in fact, I slept all the afternoon. I slept all the night. And the day after, I was totally destroyed. I had sore body everywhere. My body was sore, and I started to have connections. And suddenly I realized that the sting I got at the perineum was in fact the same feeling that almost 50 years ago, when I gave birth to my son, I had an episiotomy, and when it was healing, the scar was making this sting. So I realized that I worked that long time ago with a midwife osteopath in France, but I realized that this was connecting to a deeper level of awareness, of awakening, of emotional release, deeper than what I did like maybe 25 or 30 years ago with this midwife, to work on the cell memory of that scar. So this was like quite interesting, because it's the same area that I'm working with the breathing since 6-8 months now. So, and came back to my mind this other voice said, no, you cannot go back in session in this situation with a mask on your face, blah blah blah. And I was pissed off, so I spoke with my friend Bernard. I said, I cannot understand how someone working in this field is working with a mask and oblige the client to put a mask on when we need oxygen. So I was in this thing, and in fact, I started to see, it's like I was observing myself, and I was like wondering why this was so upsetting to me. So on one side, I was able to appreciate dearly and deeply the work done, because I have a big experience about emotional release in the body, and since a very, very long time, so I could immediately feel that his work is really excellent. But this nasty thing on my face was like, and it's a tiny thing always that bring, if you observe, if you really investigate, bring to something else. So the day after, I felt it was too short, 1 week, that I need more time to assimilate and transform and integrate, in fact, in my DNA, new information, new way to, because things has been released, so I needed time, because this is my process. I need time to integrate, and when it's integrated, it's really done. So suddenly I felt, no, I need 2 weeks. And in the same time, my little voice said, yeah, you need 2 weeks, not only for the physical. I was like, So I sent a text message and I say, Jim, it's really, I feel that I really need 2 weeks, the session in 2 weeks, because it will be too short. Too many things are going on, too many connections and things. So time passed, and I had always this thing, no. What I'm gonna ask him why we wear a mask. So I was in this thing, like judging also him wearing a mask, and also all this thing, and thinking how someone who is in this consciousness of the body, miracle that it is, can apply such a rule, because there is absolutely no risk. When you know how the body is working, you know that you are safe because your body is doing the work. So I was like, bothered with that thing all the time in my mind. And I was telling that thing, shut up and go there on the side. And they passed, and I was coming closer to the second session. I didn't even search if another osteopath could be, a chiropractor could be great, and and in fact, I tested with Bernard. He said, no, it's Jim that is really your body